What is up, guys? Hope you're all having a good day, and today I am bringing you some unfiltered full match gameplay of me on PES 19. Now, this game does come out on August 28th. The demo is live now on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I don't know about PC. But yeah, we're going to jump straight into a match. I'm just going to talk about, obviously, the things that have stuck out to me while playing the demo as I lay out my team. All the tactics, all the substitutions, this is all very familiar to people who have played PES before. If you haven't played PES before, I can't see you getting into this PES because it's the same as the other PESs, and it doesn't have Champions League this year, which is a bit of a bummer. But yeah, all this is the same. Messi 94 rating, Mohamed Salah 90 rated. Let's just take a minute on that. So yeah, I warn you now, the matches aren't action-packed because obviously you don't get a lot of time in the demo. You get about 3-minute match length, I think, or 4. And it's on the hardest difficulty because I wanted to see if it is too easy or whatever, because I feel an issue for me in football games is that the difficulty on career modes are just too easy. Like, you put it on the highest one, all you have to do is get the right kind of players and just abuse the sort of systems in place, like PES, etc. And that's it. So I was trying to see, but as I played this, I found that, yeah, it's not easy. You can't just abuse Lionel Messi. You can't do all that, but we're going to get into that. So, first of all, what we're going to get into is, as you will see, is the graphics. Now, the graphics in this game are pretty incredible. Like, to say, you're obviously going to compare the two to FIFA. Obviously, yeah. Some people say it's not fair to compare the two, but you have to. They're the two only football games on the market, really, so you have to compare the two. For me, PES has always been about gameplay. FIFA's been all about everything else. Like, if PES had licenses and a bit more tighter gameplay, I'd be on PES every year. I wouldn't even touch FIFA. But the fact that FIFA's so popular and more people play FIFA, you just kind of default to that. But as you can see here, like, look, they'll just keep adding more and more buildings to the background of stadiums, and it looks great. Of course, running on the Fox engine, which obviously is famous for Metal Gear, which they switched to, I think, 3 years ago. And as you can see, look, it looks really smooth. But the first thing I noticed is that it looks really slowed down. Like, it reminded me of quite a bit of FIFA at first. But it's still PES. That's the thing. And another thing I noticed, like, players seem to have weight about them. Like, they look like they've got depth. They look like actual character models. I don't know if it's the close camera angle or the new grass or whatever it is, but the players just look better rather than just 22 people just stood on the pitch and you'd have no idea who it is. You can tell who's who, sort of thing. And I really appreciated that. And PES has always been great at the subtle things, whereas FIFA, if something magical is going to happen, you have to force it to happen, sort of thing. And if it looks really fake, sort of thing, like, oh, this is finessed in, or this is gone into it. But on PES, I always like how, if you're with Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, and you run at someone and you receive the ball, he might do a step over touch, and you don't tell him to do that. But the game never does it, so you lose the ball because of this. If you were going to lose the ball, you were going to lose the ball regardless of what touch you did. But it always makes it that more magical and a bit more spontaneous whenever the computer does it. Rather, you can obviously do it yourself if you want to, but having the option that the AI sometimes does it for you just makes it look that much better, makes it look a bit more real, sort of thing. The ball also looks like it has, I know this all sounds tedious, but the ball looks like it has a bit more weight to it. It looks like it reacts a lot more to actual touches rather than just predetermined touches. But I've got a free kick here, and now I got quite good at the last PES on free kicks, so let's see if I can score this one. I obviously know what's going to happen. Oh yes, we just sink a free kick in our first game on the demo.
Holy shit.
As Lionel Messi, underside of the bar. Karius didn't even move. Not that he'd have held it anyway, but that's not the point. Absolutely dirty free kick. Dirty free kick. I didn't notice as well before when I took this, but the guy stood behind the wall, if you look. There's a guy stood behind the wall in case I go underneath it, which is quite cheeky. But yeah, after playing it, all those subtle animations are there, all the little touches are there. Players look and feel the same. The only thing I have noticed, like, I passed the ball to Messi and I tried to sprint with Messi and run, like, in those short bursts. you can't really accelerate like you could in 17 or 16. It feels a lot more like based around passing and moving. Like you can't just take people on with one player, and if you do, fair enough. But then again, that could have been because I was on Superstar, but that's the difficulty I'm going to be playing on, so obviously I'm going to comment on it. Some people might not notice this, but I did. Like I did do another match, I think after this, that I didn't record, with Liverpool, and Salah just didn't feel very quick to me. I could run away from people. Jordi Alba felt quick, like in the sense of just straight speed, but in terms of just bursting past someone, it's very difficult to do that unless they've got things on your side. So yeah, there is that. I'd say overall the thing I've noticed most is that the game feels very slowed down. It still feels like PES, but it's very like stripped back and methodically build. But once again, similar to PES, where if you have a shot and the pressure starts to build, then you can have all those chances, etc., etc. So it is still PES. Like if you like PES, you'll like this game. If you don't like PES, I can't see you liking this game. That's not me just being like, nah, you're not good at the game. It's just you won't like it. And they score a really nice flowing move. It's like you won't like it because it's PES. People just prefer FIFA. They prefer I don't know why they prefer something. I play FIFA. I've had every FIFA since 11, and I've played every PES since 2003 or whatever. It's just they both offer something different, but obviously they get compared. But because PES is seen as an inferior product, every little thing that PES has going against it is highlighted the more. Whereas it might have the same issues as FIFA, like goalkeepers. In the last game, goalkeepers have been an issue for PES for ages. I think there was one FIFA that got them quite good, where they were really hard to beat. It's like, I'd rather that than really easy to beat. But because PES is seen as the inferior product, those issues get highlighted, and it's like, oh, well, this is why PES is worse. It's like, well, yeah, but FIFA's aren't exactly great either. FIFA just has a decent career mode, it has the journey, it has Ultimate Team, which is basically what FIFA is now. FIFA is just an Ultimate Team product. They might as well just make it free to play and then just release Ultimate Team, because that's what that game is essentially, especially with the rumours coming out in the beta that there's no changes to career mode whatsoever besides a new HUD and maybe slight changes, which is great. It's like, what's the point? It's like that's where the money is, so they're not going to invest in career mode if the money's in Ultimate Team. Whereas PES, you can see year in year out, they just refine it a little bit more. They either make it quicker, they slope it back, they strip it back, they add something, they take something away. Like they're all about the gameplay first, which I do like, and probably being in the position they're in, being like the second best football game, they can afford to do it. They can afford to focus on the gameplay rather than the modes that are going to make them money, because people who buy PES are going to keep buying PES unless they cock up like they did in the PS2 days or switch to PS3 days. They're not, unless they do something bad, it's not going to go downhill. So this is PES, like I've said. But speaking of issues, there are still PES issues, like players not touching the ball, players not running where you want them to go, goalkeepers not saving what they should save, just little things like people not making runs, because the match time is on really short, stamina wears out so quick, so you can't really do anything in the demo matches unless the difficulty is low. Like I was mentioning about animations, and he has to do a little back flick pass, which I didn't tell him to do, he just did it, which is like, yes, it's like, it looks good. It makes you feel like you're playing as Barcelona rather than fucking Newport County, stuff like that. Refs, I have seen the ref be a bit dodgy in the demo, which isn't great because he was really bad in 17, just constantly sending people off for nothing, and it's just, it can literally ruin a match, and it's just, why? And it's not even the case of like, oh, it could have gone either way. It's like, no, it's just not even a foul half the time. HUD is obviously the same, as you can see. They've added little motions and animations to the tactics changes in match, so now you can definitely see if you've accidentally turned something on or if you've turned something on. That can all be changed in the game plan menu, so you can have attacking fullbacks, you can have retain possession, etc, etc. That's all the same. I do like the new HUD in the top left, because obviously they lost Champions League, so if that's the standard HUD, it looks nice, it looks sleek. Interesting to see what they do, because they've lost the Champions League. Do they do what FIFA did and just call it like the Champions Cup and still have the big old presentation? Because I think that would be good if they tried their own thing to make it feel grand, because that was one of the best things about Master League, which is hopefully going to be the same again in this season. The teams for the demo are Barcelona, Schalke, Liverpool, AC Milan, Flamengo, Coca-Cola, whoever they are, Argentina and France. I think I've missed one like South American team off, but obviously PES is big in like Copa America, South America, so that's where they get all their licenses from, so they're going to be in there. So yeah, France is probably the best team on the demo because they have the best all-round squad that I've found. As we go into the second match in the video, which is France versus Argentina. Another thing to note is this is the first time playing a PES game where I've noticed a distinct style from a team. I can't remember if this match or a previous match that maybe I haven't recorded, but as soon as I picked up the ball like in the middle of the park, every single player that touched it was pressed straight away, and it was like, oh, you could visibly see that that was their game plan. And then when I was on the offensive and they changed to sitting back, they weren't pressing me, they were letting me have time on the ball. It's like, it made you adapt, and it actually might make you change your tactics match in, match out in career mode, which is a really welcome change, because obviously, as everyone knows, FIFA and PES, if you have the best team, you're just going to keep playing the best team, and it doesn't really affect anything. I've always said that they should do like a chemistry system, like they did, like they do in FIFA Ultimate Team, because it is a good system. Obviously, take away the whole playing in the same league, etc., etc., because that doesn't mean anything. But if you buy an Argentinian player and you put him on the same side as another Argentinian player, they're obviously going to play well together because they know each other. Or if you play someone who knows a specific formation, or if you play someone out of position, they won't play as well, or they won't make... Maybe they, like in 10 minutes of the match, they might forget their mission and they might go wandering or something like that. Just little things, just that would change up a bit, but that's probably asking too much. Based purely on this demo, I'm excited for it. Like, it's PES. Like, I keep saying it, like, obviously I'm going to get FIFA probably. As much as it pains me, I'll probably get FIFA. I'll probably waste like 30 quid on FIFA points at some point to get Ultimate Team packs, just because you do. But I will probably still play the fuck out of PES with my brother and by myself, just because it's fun. Because the passing feels responsive and dynamic. You don't have to wait an age for a power bar to go up, and it's just... PES has always felt that one step ahead in terms of gameplay, whereas FIFA's adding like dynamic tactics. FIFA's just added that, and PES has had it for like 4 years. It's like... And everyone raves about the changes coming to FIFA, and yet everyone's just like, PES has had this for a while. It's like, you can't say one's the better when it just takes ideas from the other one and just uses them now and again. Obviously, PES takes ideas from FIFA, like the quick subs. That's a great new idea. But once again, I feel like they've implemented it a bit more better than FIFA. You can select any player in your starting 11. You can select any player on your sub bench to swap them with, rather than suggesting you swap a striker with a right back like FIFA does every single time. It's like, what algorithm thinks that you want to swap a striker for a right back and not change the formation at all? It's like, just, it infuriates me. And EA are just, especially with the whole Battlefront thing, EA are just on a mighty fine line, and I think maybe the penny might be about to drop with games like Black Ops 4. Everyone's already shitting on that, including myself. Although recent gameplay looks okay, I'll probably still get it because I enjoy COD gameplay. But like, when PES has been making strides in gameplay for years, and yet is still in the same place, probably financially, because I think it does make them a lot of money, PES. They're still in the same place financially, etc. And I know it's got here. FIFA's still in the same place financially, if not bigger. So it's like, it's almost like, what does PES have to do at this point? Like, are they trying to get top spot, or do they just... What are they trying to do? As I look at the replay to try and... to get the little back foot. I was just not sure why we didn't score. It was just a terrible shot. But yeah, it's like, does PES want to be better or not? If it's happy being where it is, then this game's perfect. But it plays really well, and hopefully the main game plays like this. Although it probably won't, it'll probably be a bit quicker. I quite like how slow it is now. It looks, with everything added on, like the animations, the players having depth to them, obviously the player ID, players running like their real life counterparts, etc., like Sterling with his fucking T-Rex hands. All that coupled together will make it fun. but it's still PES at the end. It's basically last year's PES, just a bit slower and a bit looks nicer. It's a football game. It's another yearly football game. It's like, what do you expect? It's like, I can say how good it looks all day, but the same thing stands, is that it's a yearly football game and you know what to expect at this point. But they've made the necessary changes that they need to make, although left out some stuff that I'm pretty sure is going to hold it back yet again, like the animations. Not all the animations, sorry, the goalkeepers, the refs, some of the AI. The AI often is a bit terrible. If outside of the tactics, if an AI has to do something for itself, it's terrible. I found FIFA 18's AI to be absolutely atrocious. Like, I hate playing that game online because it's just fucking impossible. Like, all it caters towards is just tiki-taka and then just somebody absolutely rinsing you with one through ball that cuts through 7 players. It's like, and you have to move every single player. It's like, just, you need to give me something. I can't do it all. So yeah, this has been PES 19 demo, full match and a bit gameplay. Hopefully either from my comments or from the video, you've seen either what you wanted to see in terms of buying PES or not buying PES. So either way, like, as long as this video has made your mind up, then I'll chalk that as a win. But for me personally, if I won't get it, my brother will probably get it and I'll play it, because there's no point having to. But yeah, it looks like fun, it looks like PES. It's the standard gameplay over substance. But this is just the demo, so we will have to save our thoughts for the full thing.